Hello everybody, my name is Luke Marr and this is Hot Mode, and today on Hot Mode we are going to be discussing the Russian designer, photographer, and filmmaker Gosha Rubchinskiy. I thought it was good to talk about Gosha because I think a lot of people want to hear about him, like Dimna Gvazlia. He is kind of an up-and-coming not an up-and-coming, I guess he already has now established a streetwear label to the point of kind of a cult following, but Gosha has kind of captivated the world just the same as Dimna has, so I thought it was good to discuss. I'm just kind of looking at his collections, and I'm just kind of going through and just discussing what I think about the collection, some observations I have about the clothing, some observations I have about Gosha and the kind of world that he creates. I know that for a long time he was just he was trying to make his line for about 10 years from what I've read. I read a interview with Adrian Jaffe, who is the president of Comme des Garçons, who are the sole producers of Gosha's line. If you didn't know, Comme des Garçons took on Gosha, and they kind of have the exclusive rights to make sure Gosha is being sold at places like Dover Street Market or any Comme des Garçons stores or any different department stores. So they actually hold the right to Gosha. They kind of gave him the ability to do what he wanted, and they kind of pay for the shows and pay for the production, and they really helped him out. They're kind of like just his backers, and he lets them kind of handle a lot of the business side, and Gosha really just does his creative thing. I think it's good to just kind of I have a couple of things that I've written down. So my first thing about Gosha is the gender roles. I always think that he kind of pushes gender roles, not a crazy amount, not like so totally insane, but I think he does. It's just certain pieces do kind of have a feminine flair to them, and I think that it's really great because I know that a lot of young men really do kind of like associate well with Gosha and with the brand, and so I think him doing that is really, really, really great in reality. Also, I think he is not a designer. And that's not that he has a brand, yes, but I also just don't consider Gosha a designer, and that's not, a slight to Gosha at all. I do think he does a really, really good job, but I think he's more of a stylist. He doesn't really work on clothing per se. I think he works on an image, because a lot of the clothing is just kind of different styles of tailoring. I don't think it's all really crazy creative. I think it's more of the ability to style clothing and to create this world. I also don't think if you ask Gosha that he'd be like, yeah, I'm totally a designer and that's what I do. I don't think that's how he thinks about it. I think he thinks of himself more as a creator of this kind of world, and all of the interviews that I've watched and read about him, he wants to create a world, and he wants to kind of bring the Russian skate culture out and wants to make it cool, and that's kind of what he does. Speaking of that, I also think he has an amazing ability he has brought Russian culture into the limelight, and I think it's actually really cool. I think all of his muses are really, really cool. I think his ability to kind of, use cool people, and even I'm watching his Spring Summer 17 show, and that he got all of these different models from all over the world to come and walk in his show, and he was just whoever wants to come walk can come walk. And I think that's really cool. I know that there were a couple of models of color, but I wish, again, that there had been more. And I always say that about the Eastern European designers. And there really is no excuse whatsoever with that. And so, I'm making sure that everybody knows I don't appreciate that. But I do think that he is working to kind of make it better, hopefully. That's what I can see. It's better than last season, so hoping that he continues that. I also think he does a really, really good job when it comes to DIY. I think, again, he creates an image. It's not clothing that you have to go out and buy. You can go out and buy sweatbands, and it's like you can go out and buy like vintage Fila clothes, and it just kind of creates an image that is really cool and that I think young men like want to associate themselves with. And I think that's where a lot of Gosha's power comes in. Also, his clothing is not that expensive. It doesn't like cost you an arm and a leg, so young men can go and buy it and like make it affordable and, you know, support a younger kind of designer and, you know, artist. And I think that's also a really cool aspect of Gosha. It's not like there's all this haute couture draping that needs to be done and crazy embellishments. It's very simple. It's not meant to be this really large, you know, crazy thing. He keeps simple, and that's kind of what he does. Again, so here's another thing. Lada Volkova, who is the stylist of both Gosha's line and Vêtements. I like Lada as a stylist. I just don't like her work for Gosha. I like it for Vêtements. I don't like it for Gosha. I just think it's a personal opinion. It has nothing to do with her styling capabilities. But it's just like, personally, I would never wear I wouldn't wear anything how it is styled. And so that's my thing. I wish that Gosha kind of was just the stylist for it, because I think his vision would be, you know, better pushed through in that way. I don't think Lada needs to. I think she could be a consultant, yes, and like help to curate it, but I guess that's what a stylist does anyway, so maybe she is good there. I just don't really love how the clothing is always paired. The clothing also is not for me personally. It's just not something I'd be like, oh wow, this is really cute and I love that and it's fun. It's very like masculine a lot of the times. I'm not into the whole masculine look when it comes to clothing. So, like, I understand, like, I don't take my opinion as the total truth. I think also it's kind of awakened the streetwear phenomenon to the bigger, higher-ups, places like Vogue and, you know, Condé Nast and Hearst. All are kind of seeing that young designers have the ability to have power in the industry, and that clothing does not need to be as complicated as it once was. It can be simple, and it can be, you know, down to earth. I'm just looking at the collections now, and it's just, I kind of do like the clothing. It depends on the collection for me, but it just makes me laugh. Like, it's so it doesn't care. It has a really great air of youth to it, that it's like, I'm young, and this is the time that I can wear things like this, and I can be crazy. And so I think it's great. I think it's really, really great, and I think Gosha really taps into the youth culture. He's also smart with his collaborations with brands. I think Gosha and Vêtements both are doing that and kind of breathing life into these older brands like Juicy Couture and Fila and all those kind of things. And I think they're doing a really good job at making those cool again. They're really bringing back the 90s streetwear looks. I have to say I respect Gosha a lot, because his 5 collections that he's done, including the newest Spring Summer 17 one, he has only been doing this for 5 years, where he's been getting press, and he's amassed a lot of press. So I think that really does speak to Gosha's capabilities as a purveyor of style and a purveyor of a lifestyle. And so yeah, I really do respect Gosha. I think he is doing a really good job. I often won't say that I think he is. I kind of have this love-hate relationship with Gosha and Vêtements. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know your opinions about Gosha in the comments below. Please let me know who you want to talk about next, and I can do a whole nother video discussing my opinion on different designers. So, thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye.